Okay, so stance practice, Taoist standing meditation, the little bit of heat that comes up, the increase of release capacity in your nervous system, the shaking, the tremoring, all of this really juicy, channel opening, revealing work is bringing forth things that you weren't aware of, things about your body, areas that are tight, guarding, injured, in pain, were injured years ago that have created compensation patterns, emotions sometimes stored in certain parts of the body, or emotional responses to feelings in certain parts of the body. It's all coming up, it's all being brought up through this work. With that new level of listening, that higher resolution of body awareness where you can see into the cracks and the small areas that were numb, comes a new sense of responsibility to continue to take care of yourself. You're now more aware of your body's needs and the fluctuations in your physical state. And you're also, if you're recognizing patterns, which is a natural follow-on effect, you're seeing how certain things in your life either contribute to that really energized but grounded, life-giving state, or detract from it. As you become aware of what contributes or detracts, there can be this thing of, oh fuck, I don't want to do that anymore, that feels bad, or oh, I don't like how that person makes me feel in this conversation or this relationship, or I don't like how that job makes me tighten up, or I don't like who I am in this certain scenario or that practice. Basically, you've got more physical reference points for how you feel in the presence of people, places, practices, all of it. And you're more sensitive to that. So this is where the relational work comes in, how you relate to yourself, and how you relate to others, and how you relate to your experiences and your emotions and these new discoveries. Is there a sense of being unsettled? Is there a sense of curiosity? Oh, that's so interesting. Where are you at with that? There will be certain sensations or bodily experiences you reveal that you'll be really curious about naturally. And there'll be other sensations or experiences that you reveal which might feel more charged, which are stickier for your mind. Certain things in life and through this practice you will feel and your mind will get stuck on. There's a real charge, it hits a nerve, or it's intense. And we go into storytelling, or we try to shift and change the external world so that we don't have to feel more of that. So as you keep releasing and dropping into your body and feeling and feeling and feeling, as the feedback grows clearer, how do we manage this space? How externally active should we be? How do we reshape our decisions while also managing our internal state? Well, the key is being in your heart. Being in your heart. Remember that anything you're becoming aware of will go straight back into the unconscious or straight back into its old holding pattern. Physical holding patterns, emotional, mental holding patterns, conditioned loops of behavior. Any of that content which was shadow content or under the surface of awareness, when it comes up, it is liberated and set free and becomes creative material and just weather, colors, sensations, when you can relate to it through your heart without too much judgment. When something comes up and there's a charge, judge. It's charged because there has been or is a judgment, and when that judgment is released and you stop telling a story and making meaning and stop thinking that it means all this stuff about you or about the world or about someone else, when you let go of that charge and you can witness with pure curiosity and let it sift through, it's liberated, okay? The tension is liberated, the pain is liberated, the emotional residue from a particular event or trauma begins to be gradually liberated. But relate to it from your heart. There'll be things that you might notice about yourself or your body that are, if they're confronting, if you relate to them from your head and you try and figure them out, or you try to make them wrong or right, it'll get you caught up in a bind. You won't feel too good. Think of it as having a conversation with a part of you that you've never met, that you don't think is you. This part of you is you, but you've never met, and you're feeling like, oh my God, we've been living together in the same body this whole time. Me and this pain, me and this tension, me and this feeling, me and this belief system, me and this unconscious pattern. Remember, it's part of you, but now it's time to make peace with it and to let it be. Let it be. Let it be part of you. It's okay. Let it be part of you. Let the experience be part of you. Don't reject it. An example is when I started meditating and I was younger, I would feel much more peaceful. I used it to help calm myself. Meditation, of course, is not just about feeling peaceful and calm. It's more about seeing the truth of things. This work we're doing is not just about feeling good, it's about seeing the truth of things, and sometimes it doesn't feel too good and you make a change. You make an external change, or you make a change in the way you relate to a feeling or experience within yourself. So anyway, I started meditating. I felt really good. I felt really calm, really peaceful, accessed these deep states, thought, oh my God, I'm so open, awake. And then I would come into certain social settings and I would be more sensitive to what I didn't like that I could normally kind of sweep under the rug. And I was like, oh, that irks me. I don't like it. The shadow material and the charge or the reactivity to that external thing was revealed. But I didn't know that that was an internal process that was just another step in my relationship with myself. I thought that it was that person. There's something wrong with them. It's the job. There's something wrong with it. Oh, I hate this. Oh, that bloody pain in my knee, whatever. So it's not just enough to keep going there into the experience. It needs to be offered space. And when you feel into your heart and you breathe as you're feeling into your heart and you hold that experience, no matter what it is or how it's coming up, as if it is a newborn, when you cradle the truth of that experience as it is, in its messiness, in its confusingness, in its uncomfortableness, in its irritatingness, when you cradle, if you can't cradle the experience itself, cradle yourself while you're having that experience. Cradle yourself like a newborn who is experiencing this new level of rawness. When a newborn comes out, the world is overwhelming, and it's the cry that stimulates the breath. So hold yourself with the same tenderness and heart that you would hold a newborn or a puppy. Hold yourself and hold the experience with the same tone in your tissues and the same love that you would hold someone who is discovering something huge for the first time. And then in holding that experience, the part of you that feels caught up in the experience, that doesn't know it's separate from the experience, the reactive part, that reactive part feels held by something bigger than itself. So you simultaneously become the holder of yourself having the experience, the holder of the experience, and the person being held. And it's this beautiful sense of infinite spacious holding as new layers arise. This is really good to apply to discomfort and reactivity in the legs and in the body, and that chemical reaction, the lactic acid, the hydrogen ions, the increased acidity in the legs when you're in a deep stance, the emotional reaction to that, the stimulation of that as your neurocircuitry and all of the systems in your body try to detoxify and adapt and replenish. That same thing is happening when you bump up against a new truth in a relationship with your partner or with a friend. When there's a conversation where a new level of honesty is reached and there's this response or reaction where you want to push them away or you want to close off or you want to cling. In any relationship with someone close to us, including our own body, in any relationship where there's a big exchange of energy, so especially parents, children, romantic partners, especially those, because they're seen as continuations of our body. They are our social body. They're all part of the way we source and contribute to energy. In any shift at any one of these layers of relationship, there is reactivity. There's new truths being revealed. And so the feeling body, to be there, to sit with, to accept the stimulus, to feel is the first part, but feel from the heart too, and that helps the mind descend into feeling rather than tell stories and make judgments and create more separation and more shadow content and more othering of the experience and more fragmentation. If you're relating from your thinking mind, trying to be right, trying to get it, trying to understand, thinking that you have to arrive at understanding. Often you don't have to arrive anywhere but in the feeling right now, but you think you have to figure it out or understand in order to resolve something. If you're stuck relating from that level, when certain unconscious material emerges into consciousness from the shadows, it will shift your entire worldview and you won't be able to relate to it from anything familiar up here without driving yourself nuts. So body, feeling, heart, release the mind, open, soften the eyes. Allow yourself to be as clueless as a newborn and as in love as the person cradling the newborn. And things begin to integrate over time and they begin to make sense. Remember, when things are making sense and they're integrating, it makes sense. It doesn't make thought. It doesn't make judgment. It makes sense. You feel it. You know it. You are it. It's inside. Comes from inside. Titrates slowly. Comes in. You sponge this new experience and then you squeeze the sponge and some waste is excreted and some excess beliefs you don't need and some judgment is let go of, and there's a new sense of freshness and vitality and presence to what's here now, not to your beliefs about what you think is here now based on your unconscious past reactions. So I hope this is tying stuff together as you walk yourself into your body and you feel what's in the body. Things start to pass through the body. And then we have to relate to these things from a place that's beyond the body, a spaciousness which is beyond what you're used to, and that exists in the field of the heart. And this is where the emotional alchemy starts to happen, and where the mental metamorphosis starts to happen. The reaction, the heat, the charge, instead of becoming something that you act out on from a place of ignorance, creating a chain reaction of difficult things in your life, you're able to transform, neutralize, and shift some of that to decide how you would like to be, how you would like to feel, and you can steer in a new creative direction. What relationship do I want to be in with my body? How do I want to feel when I'm training? What inputs am I going to give myself? What relationship do I want to be in with my parents, my partner, my work, my practice? What do I want to make of this? Once you've neutralized that reactive energy, it becomes available to create that thing that you want even more. So we work through the emotional layer, the heart, opening up the head, expressing through breath, expressing through shaking, expressing through the body, unjudging the experience. We write. We have a space where we can write. We have this conversation with ourselves. We remain curious without needing to be right, without needing to arrive at an answer, without needing to change everything in our world. We allow some time for this difference in how things were and how things feel now to kind of start to gradually meet and synchronize. Patience, patience, patience. And then we start to create, not react, but create. What is it that I would like to bring in? And how am I going to take this energy and shift my external world and show up as the kind of person I want to be? From the state of consciousness, from the state of space holding that I would like to be able to grow. And that's when we act. That's when we move our feet. We do things in the world. We put things out there. We take some chances. We have some conversations, but we make sure that we've sifted through first. We let it go. We open it up. We let it come up. We let it go. We breathe. We let it be. If it's not going anywhere, you let it be. You let it be, you let it be, you let it be. You write, you reflect. Stay open, stay curious, relate from your heart, not your head. You don't have to understand, it's all just new information. Let yourself process it like a newborn. Cradle the newborn as they're processing it. Be held and be the holder. Then you'll start to feel some creative direction. You can decide who you want to be, and you can feel into your body and feel into your heart and let your mind be more open than it was. And that will help you to shape your actions in the most attuned, life-giving way. So this is a process I'm describing in short, because I think some of you need it and are ready for it, and you're asking for it, but it's also something that we can learn about over the course of a year, and that's why there's 3 parts to the program. So beautiful skill, a big life skill. It's not something you just get, it's something that I continue to practice. And you don't ever get it. It's always a process, always a process, always a process. Now. Later does not matter, the future does not matter. Are you sincere? Are you sincere now? And as your capacity expands to feel, to embody, to release, and to create and relate differently to experience, the things that you'll be able to do in the world will expand. Your responsibility might expand, your creative responsibility, your space holding responsibility. And so then there's a new layer, it never ends. And what you're doing is you're becoming more and more in touch with the human condition, and you're gaining more and more access to genuine insight. And you can't unsee it, so this is a path for the heart. And one step at a time, taking your time, more unfolding, and life expands. And that's it. Who knows where it goes? Hope this video has been helpful. That's enough from me. Don't want to rant too much. Much love. Speak to you soon.